Rain poured down in jagged sheets, drumming against the cracked pavement of the bus stop where she huddled, knees drawn to her chest, clutching the thin coat that barely kept out the cold. Her hair was matted, her eyes hollow with exhaustion, and her hands trembled from both cold and hunger. No one noticed her. People hurried past, heads down, avoiding eye contact, consumed by their own worlds. But in that bleak moment, as the wind whispered through the deserted street, a small voice broke through the gray monotony. "I think you need a hug. Can I hug you?" The woman looked up, startled, blinking at the little girl standing in the rain. She wore a bright yellow raincoat, her small hood framing a face that was innocent but brimming with empathy. There was no fear, no hesitation, just a pure, human understanding that something had been missing in her own life, something that made her heart ache for this stranger. Before the woman could respond, the girl stepped forward, arms wide. And in that moment, something cracked open inside her. If you believe in kindness and second chances, take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, Grandma Diary. The woman hesitated, her body rigid with years of mistrust, scars that ran deeper than the cold or the rain. Life had taught her to expect nothing from strangers. But the girl didn't waver. Slowly, reluctantly, the woman allowed herself to lean into the warmth of that small embrace. It was brief, tender, but it carried with it a weight that no words could ever convey. Tears blurred her vision as memories she had buried deep inside rose to the surface, the nights she had cried herself to sleep, the endless days of searching for food and shelter, the quiet shame of invisibility in a world that moved on without her. The girl pulled back slightly, her eyes wide, and offered a small smile that seemed almost impossible in the midst of the storm. "You're not alone," she said softly. "Sometimes people forget, but it's okay. I see you." That simple sentence struck the woman like lightning. No lectures, no pity, no judgment, just acknowledgement. And acknowledgement was something she had craved for so long that it felt like sunlight after a year of darkness. For days after that encounter, she couldn't stop thinking about the little girl, about the courage it took for someone so small to reach out. She began to notice other small gestures in life, the stranger who gave her a sandwich without asking, the man who held the door for her, the warmth of a hot cup of tea at the shelter. Each act reminded her that the world was not entirely cruel, that perhaps there was still room for trust, hope, and even love. Slowly, she began to take small steps. She visited the local library to use the computer, applied for temporary jobs, and sought help from social services she had once ignored, feeling too ashamed to ask. Every success, no matter how small, was a victory, and every kindness she received became a thread weaving her back into the fabric of society. Yet, the memory of the girl at the bus stop remained her compass, guiding her toward believing that she, too, could be seen and valued again. Weeks passed, and the rain finally ceased. One sunny afternoon, she found herself walking through a neighborhood park, watching children play and families laugh. She still carried the weight of her past, but it was lighter now, tempered by the sparks of humanity she had encountered along the way. And then, as if fate had remembered her, she saw the little girl again, sitting on a bench, sketching in a notebook, her yellow raincoat now replaced with a bright blue sweater. Their eyes met, and in that moment, recognition passed silently between them. Without thinking, the woman approached, her heart pounding, and knelt before the girl. She didn't need to speak, her eyes said it all. "Thank you, for reminding me that the world still has warmth." The girl grinned, offering her a high five instead of a hug this time, and it felt just as significant. They shared a laugh, light and free, breaking through layers of pain and isolation. It was in that simple connection that the woman realized she was capable of love and trust again. Life didn't become perfect overnight. There were still hard days, moments of doubt, and lingering fears of rejection. But the memory of that little girl's compassion became her anchor. She found work, secured a small apartment, and began volunteering at a local shelter, paying forward the kindness that had saved her spirit. Each act of giving reinforced the truth she had learned: even the smallest gestures could change someone's life forever. Near the end of the story, I want to ask you, if this story touched your heart, please engage with it. Like, comment, and share it with someone who might need a reminder that hope and kindness exist, even in the darkest of times. Before we end, I have a special request. Please share in the comments one act of kindness you've experienced or given that made a difference. It could inspire someone today. The woman never forgot the little girl who had dared to hug a stranger in the rain. And in that memory, she found the courage to rebuild herself, to trust, to hope, and to love again. In the end, it wasn't the rain, the cold, or the hardships that defined her, it was that one fearless, tender gesture that reminded her she was seen, valued, and capable of rising above.